Getting a real estate license as a wholesaler, or if you're looking at getting a wholesaling real estate and you go out and try to get a real estate license, could be the biggest mistake you ever make in your wholesaling career. I can tell you straight up, getting a real estate license, if you are outside of Illinois, is the worst decision you could probably make in wholesaling real estate. I don't take that lightly. There are a lot of reasons you can do it, right? I'm just straight up with you guys. Getting a real estate license is something you should never do as a wholesaler. And straight up today, what I'm going to do is break down exactly the 5 reasons why a wholesaler should never get a real estate license. Straight up, you should never get a real estate license in should never get a license in real estate wholesaling because of the cons are just way, way worse than the pros. And you get your deal stolen. You got to pay your broker daddy. You got to do all these crazy things. Yeah. But before we break it down, before we break down exactly step by step why you should never get a real estate license, we got to break down and explain to you why you need to go smash that like button, subscribe. So before we get into it, before we probably save you what, $4,000 this year, $5,000 this year, whatever it is, maybe your broker wants to cut your assignment fee. Who knows how much I'm saving you from there? Do me a favor, make sure you guys go out here and smash that like button. Subscribe to the YouTube channel so you never miss another live stream we do. And always comment below your questions. I can tell you, we're going to get some hate comments today. We're going to get some hate comments, but I'll tell you 99% of all hate comments we're going to get today are from realtors. So it's straight up. So it's going to be a fun one. It's going to be a heated debate, but we're going to explain it and share with you exactly why you shouldn't get a real estate license. But before we get that, we got to cue the intro. Woo!
Get the fuck out of bed, bitch. Go. Get up, and they got go. Time to wake up, bitch. Get up. Get up. Get up.
Oh, snap. We're back. We're ready to go. We're jamming.
Let's do it.
So let's talk about this. Getting a real estate license. I truly believe the real estate license myth is something a lot of real estate gurus will try to get you into, right? And there's about 2 or 3 reasons why a guru wants to get a real estate license. And they all lead to one thing, money. Okay, it's all about money. So when you hear somebody tells you you need to get a real estate license, there's a 99% chance that they are a real estate agent. Okay. So I've explained this a million times. It's true. If I talk to a vegan, what do you think a vegan's going to want to tell me? You should be a vegan.
Yeah. Don't go to the butcher.
Right. You should be a vegan. If I talk to a CrossFitter, what's the CrossFitter going to say? You should do CrossFit, right? Guys, I talk to a real estate agent. They're going to tell me to be a real estate agent. Now I understand my bias. I'm a real estate wholesaler, but I've helped a lot of people out that are realtors, people that are not, and realtor, right? And I'm saying that the wrong way, but I'm just straight up telling you guys, getting a real estate license is going to be a huge mistake for you. And there's so many of this, but we're just going to break it down. We're going to get into it. Like your favorite guru's probably telling you got to go get a real estate license because they're a real estate agent. It's so funny that the whole thing, but you know what? Let's not rant. Let's just get straight into it to help save you and of course save the wholesaling real estate industry. So first and foremost, I think it's the biggest one, but getting a real estate license is a distraction. Don't you agree?
It's huge. Like it says it's real. It really should say real estate agent license because the real estate license, it's very misleading. It is a real estate license is 100% focused on teaching you the realtor's world, period. So like it should, they might listen, if it's up to the, what's the
real estate board?
NRA, it would be called the Realtors Association License.
NAR.
National Associate. Oh, sorry. NAR. But I'm sure they've tried to get it. But the thing is, let me ask you, if you want to get, if you want to cut hair, why would you go get a real estate license? I'm here to tell you the license has nothing to do with wholesaling. It will not prepare you. It will actually confuse you, and it's going to make you much more liable. The license is ridiculous. The reason they're doing this, the reason why you see all this legislation is trying to push forward, is because the National Association of Realtors, this is what they want. It's a monopoly on the business. Now, not only do they have a monopoly on percentages, which the DOJ is about to break that up, is they want everyone to go through the license, because guess what? When you go through that license, it's nothing more than a lead stream for them. And when you have to go through government agencies, it's ridiculous. Guys, I'm here to tell you, I've been doing this business 20 years. Why would you, listen, if you truly want a real estate agent, God bless you, go get it.
Yeah.
But if you really want to be a wholesaler, getting a real estate license, it's the biggest, I think, scam going on. And by the way, I was presented this in 2003. And I remember saying, I don't want to be a realtor. Why would I? Well, then you get the side hustle deals and you'll be compliant. You're not, guys. I'm just here to tell you. It says real estate license. It should say real estate agent / broker license, because that's what they're going to train you for. So let me ask you, if you want to be a football player, would you go train with like a basketball team? Because that's what you're doing. You go get your real estate license.
And so it's a big distraction. The reason why it's such a big distraction is because you can't give your all into wholesaling by getting 50-50. What do I mean by that? A lot of wholesalers think, okay, I'm going to get a license because I'm going to deal with someone that wants to sell their house and they don't want my cash offer. They're just going to automatically go with me for a listing and at least get 3% of it, right? 6% total for the seller. But you know, and it doesn't work like that. Okay. As we have a lot of acquisitions agents that are real estate agents, and we're, whoa. What does that mean, right? Well, we get realtors that are broke, which are a lot of them are, and we get them to be our acquisitions agents because they actually make more being an acquisitions agent, getting like a small cut of the deal than they are being a realtor, because wholesale makes more money per hour. But we won't get into that today. We actually might. But the issue is sellers don't be like, okay, you're my trusted realtor. Do you know there's only two ways about 80% of real estate agents get sellers deal with a agent, right?
Mm-hmm.
Either they're related to them or they're a friend, like a close acquaintance.
Yeah.
And guess what? I think there's over 2-3 million real estate agents out there. So somebody knows a real estate agent, and that they're going to feel bad that they didn't use their friend versus the random guy off the street, or they look up the top real estate agent, the best one with the most sales, which it's not you making 10 million a year. That's 80% of it. And so you're trying to get like a small portion of it. And there are some people that be like, okay, I'll just randomly go with you, but they don't view it to you like that. They view you as a cash buyer, and it doesn't work right now. We still probably make 6 figures a year in just real estate referrals, but for agents, but like, so that's, I guess but you should see the millions of dollars we do. Like it's a lot different. So getting a license is a big distraction, because you're going to try to play realtor and then try to play wholesaling, and it's not going to work out. And the people that do it, they don't put their all into wholesaling and they fail at both ends. I'm telling you, if I was a full-time real estate agent, let's say I go tomorrow to the real estate agent side, because I can't go to the guru side, I know I would probably net $1 million by the end of next year because of the skills I have, but I make a lot more money wholesaling. And guess what? If I'm a real estate agent making $1 million, I have to work 70, 80 hours a week to make millions of dollars in my wholesaling operation. I get to work like let's call it 15 hours a week now. I'll consider doing videos, getting JV deals and stuff but like getting a real estate license is a huge distraction. Number 2, we talked about this forever, but getting a license is also a big liability. All right. I cannot stress this enough. When you get a real estate license, you have a broker, and they're not just a broker. They're not a broker boss. They're a broker daddy. Okay. What's the difference between a dad and a boss? The boss, when you're done working, the boss doesn't bother you, right? Mm-hmm. But when you have a broker daddy on the weekends, whenever you're off, they're still going. It's 24/7. Hey, you got that deal? Where's my cut? Give me the money. Right? It's actually, a boss doesn't take money from you. A boss wants you to make money. No, the broker daddy gives you what? Desk fees. EMO, errors in emissions insurance. Most brokers are going to want a cut of your real estate wholesaling assignment. Not most, but a good portion of them. You also got to understand that it's another distraction, and a lot of these agents want it. they want to cut out your wholesaling assignment fee. It's not good, right? The time it takes to get a license is a liability. The brokers, the fees, and also you have to deal with a real estate board. Like, it's insane. And everything you do is scrutinized by your broker daddy, and they're always going to judge you, and they always care about the money, and it's just ridiculous. Do not get a license because it's a bigger liability on top of it. Now, let's talk about another liability. It's your marketing too. And this is something never talked about. When I cold call sellers, you guys see me cold. I did Tuesday. Yeah. You see what I do. When you're a real estate agent, you have to disclose your real estate agent, which is
painful.
No, it's not painful. It's just like, it's something that like confuses the seller more. Yeah. And they don't like it. And on top of that too, if you cold call in a way the board doesn't like, it could be legal, but the board doesn't like it, you get in trouble. You get fined, you get all these things. And you're under scrutiny. When you do bandit signs, you have to put your name on the bandit sign. When you do direct mail, you have to disclose you're a realtor. All these disclosures become liabilities. And it's just, it's
all your mailings, all your bandit signs, all your cold call, all your text.
The way you market
your
real estate wholesaling is judged not by the law, but by a board who is, it's ridiculous.
It's a board. And guess what everybody on the board is? A licensed realtor. So
they're not wholesalers. They don't understand it. It's ridiculous.
So guys, I've had multiple people within these chats everywhere on these live streams. They go, oh, I got a license. And they go, you didn't tell me. I go, no, I did tell you. When you, as a wholesaler, I'm telling you, if you have a license, especially the way we do it, we're aggressive and we attack, is you are going to be called to the board. And you are going to get complaints left and right from you, from realtors. You get them from title companies. Yeah. You get them from everybody. And you're not going to win. You're going to get stuck. And you're like, every time you have to answer that board, do you think the broker doesn't want to work with you? Now, my favorite part of it was like, well, there's now custom brokers that deal with wholesalers. Yeah. Now you still have the same board
and all this stuff. I know.
You have the same board. You're going to have the same problem. Guess as a wholesaler, you know who I answer to? The only person I would ever answer to is my own mom. That's it.
And the law.
Like, the law. You're not above the law. So you got to understand, it's like everybody thinks there's this umbrella. It creates a tax and a burden on you. And here's where the real jeopardy comes in. This is my opinion. I'm not giving you legal advice, but so if you go in and rep yourself as either a wholesaler or a realtor first, number one, you confuse the heck out of the client. And my favorite part is when gurus goes, well, we have paperwork to cover us. I go, no. It's confusing as heck. Which are you and which one were you representing? The problem is if you get your real estate license, they only look at you as a realtor. They don't care about your wholesaling business. It's not under that umbrella. And then when we talk about fees and stuff, most brokers don't know how to tax you. When I say tax, I mean take their commission fees on like an assignment fee. And so by the way, they're actively trying to write in there that now they're going to get a percentage of your wholesale fee. So if you get a $10,000 wholesale fee, are you willing to give up like 25% of it? That to me is the biggest tax I've ever heard of.
It's a liability, guys. You got to be careful with it. And just because your marketing gets affected from it, your dispo gets affected from it, it's just going to, and you confuse the seller. I promise you, the seller gets confused.
Like, which are you? My best deals typically come from people that don't want to associate with realtors.
And sellers already, like when they don't want to go with a cash offer, they're like, I don't like realtors. I'm a realtor.
You're done.
How does that go? Right? Guys, you just got to be straight up.
Because you can't. So if you're going to get a license, you can't hide it. You have to be extremely public about it. That's the whole point of getting the license. How wholesaling gets wrapped in it, yes, we got a few bad apples, just like every other industry. But if you think getting a license is going to cure your wholesaling business, you're crazy. A lot of gurus that teach getting your license is because they want you to be a glorified disposition agent. That's not wholesaling, guys. If you don't want to deal with motivated sellers and you just want to JV and sell deals, you can do that. But you could actually become a realtor. You might be better off doing that. I don't know. I don't want to be a glorified dispositions agent. Guys, getting your license creates so many more problems than the one you're trying to solve. So clearly, before you're doing it, if you're studying right now, ask yourself, why am I getting the license? And give the true, honest answer. If you're taking direction from somebody else, get to the bottom line of the truth, and you're probably not going to be happy with it.
Yeah, it's straight up, guys. Just don't do it. It's a liability. And so I will let you know, if you're not a real estate broker, if you're a real estate agent right now, we're not saying you suck. You're a terrible person and the world. I just think there's more cons than pros. Now, the question is, should I get rid of my real estate license? Here you got to have a legit conversation with yourself. Are you making money as a realtor? And I have people say, hey, I make about $100K doing my listings, and then I make another $100K wholesaling. I would probably say, and this is controversial, I would probably keep my license. At that point, it's worth it. But for most people, to get a license just to wholesale, it's not there, guys. And
it's not going to make
it's
any more
different
money
for everyone. You know, oh, let's say you buy your multi-million-dollar house, it's fine. But like questions like, Zach, why aren't you if you buy $1 million houses, why don't you use an agent, right? Well, the agent will kick me back a lot of the commission because I can leverage it, right? It just, guys, be careful. So let's talk about number 3. And so again, but why are gurus pushing it? Why are they all telling me to do this, right? Well, think about this. Wholesaling on the MLS sucks compared to off market. Now, let me give you a pitch, okay? So let me get my guru hat on. Okay, is that a good fake smile?
Looks
fake
good.
guru smile? Okay, perfect. Did I get my $400 haircut today? I think I look good.
Did they come here and cut your hair?
Can you put my suit jacket on?
Now, can I
put it on me?
Yeah, there you
Put
go.
my jacket. Okay. So now I think I'm ready for this. Did you know that 95% of all real estate transactions go through the MLS? Guess what that means? That means you're wholesaling with only 5% of the real estate deals sold. That means there's 95% extra deals you could be doing. You know what that means? That means you could probably do 20 times more deals because there's 20 times more properties on the MLS. Guess what that means? You could 20 extra profits by just buying my MLS wholesaling course. All you have to do is talk to one real estate agent a day and make $100K every single day. That's it. Guess what? You can do a $5 million house on the market, just negotiate it down to $2 million, and then you can make a $3 million assignment fee.
Yeah.
Guys, why are you going after just the saturated wholesaling list when you could just be wholesaling on the market? Real estate agents love lowball cash offers, and of course they want to make the least amount commission possible.
Yeah.
Duh. So guys, go out here and lowball all day. And if you're not a real estate agent will respect you so much for calling them without using them. It's going to be so great and amazing. Just purchase my course and I'll help you out. Sound good? Is that a good guru pitch? Guys, that's what they do. Here's the thing. Yes, 95% of all real estate transactions go through the MLS. But here's another fact, a factoid. 95% of people who sell their house want to sell it for the most amount of money possible. Whoa, that's crazy. So let's talk about when you sold your house a couple of years ago before you want to live on the water, right?
Uh-huh.
You were part of were you the 5% that was willing to want to get rid of your nice, massive house for cash?
No.
Or were you willing to be in the 95% and sell it for the most possible?
I took it to the market.
You took it to the market. So guys, just understand this. I want you to understand. He was like that. When I bought my place, I'm the same way. And when I sell houses, I was willing to deal with the trash of the MLS, the stupid walkthroughs, making the house look pretty for me to sell my house for the most money possible. Does that make me a greedy son of a gun? No. I'm part of the 95%. I don't need to get rid of an ugly house for cash. Okay. So it's a shocker, but most people want to sell their house for the most money.
That's it.
That's
plain
it.
and simple.
But 5% who are willing to sell it for a discount, which means when you sell something for a discount, the person that purchases it or the person that puts it under contract can make money off of it. 80 to 90% of those deals are off market. So yes, you're only dealing with 5% of deals, but about 80 to 90% of all deals sold below market value are off market, which then means, here's a shocker, you're going after the 80 to 90% of discounted deals, not the 10%. So when you go on the MLS, you're only going after 5, 10, 20% of all the properties sold below market value. And I don't even get the percentage of significantly below. So when I say below market value, I mean 10, 15%. When I'm talking 20, 30, about 30% below market value, that's at 40%. They're all off market. And so, yes, this guru pitch of you should deal with more. There's more deals. Of course, there's more deals. There's more trash deals too. It's just like me trying to find a Miami Dolphins fan in a sea of New York Jets in the New York State. It's going to be very hard versus if I go to the state of Florida. But there's more. It's ridiculous, guys. So I'm just telling you straight up, your gurus are going to be upset. They're going to start crying to you, when. And every single person that's ever fought me on this has been a realtor. That kind of put the restricted mark on there too.
And guys, this is like, we use realtors. I have an agency, everything, but like, you've got to understand the division between realtor and wholesaler is if you think you're going to start out brand new in this business and just go to the MLS and sit there, you are going to get pounded. Oh, yeah. End of story. And I hear the story over and over. I tried. Dude, I'm going to tell you, it is the perfect guru path to sell a course. You're going to drive yourself crazy for 3 to 6 months, just enough to pay them. And then you're just going to give up. Why? It sounds super easy. It sounds so perfect. And in the end, you're going to be frustrated. We teach you how to do it the right way. Honestly, I've always focused on off-market properties. It's what wholesaling was always derived from. I'm not saying you can't get a deal from MLS, but if that is your strategy and how you're going to attack, if you think us asking you to make 1,000 phone calls, you're going to have to make 5,000 to 10,000 calls, and you're going to have to talk to agents. And honestly, they don't like you. They don't want to talk to you. Guys, it's been this way for 20 plus years. Yeah. It is the Hatfield and McCoy. And honestly, it is the fastest way if you're a new wholesaler to take the strategy on and get out, because it's one of those fake, it sounds so good to be true. In the end, you find out there's no product, there's no leads. Guys, they want full retail. So even if you get a 5 or 10% reduction, it's typically overlisted. It's not even going to be in the wheelhouse of where you need to get discounted properties. Yeah. And then you have the other thing is now you have a dated price on MLS, and you're not going to be able to circumvent that.
So we call this too. This is part of MLS wholesale. I didn't even get started. I call it the cash buyer FOMO syndrome. It's true. So what's FOMO mean? Fear of missing out, right? So when you send a deal, let's do an example. The property's listed for $200,000 on the MLS. I, the genius I am, locks it up for $180,000. Okay. What's that? That's a 10% discount.
Yeah.
Sucks, but whatever. Okay. Guess what? I send that to a cash buyer. Is it a mystery what I got under contract for, like an off market? No. Guess what? He's going to see it. It's listed for $200,000. He's going to say to himself and then you, I could just have offered $180,000 with my real estate agent. Like that's a 10% discount. I'm paying the closing costs also. Like I could do that, right? I could lowball. The reason why cash buyers pay us handsome assignment fees is because we do stuff that they can't do. Why do I pay? This is a funny story, but it's true. Why do I pay a plumber to do plumbing at my place? Let's do another. Why do I pay an electrician? We did this Airbnb. Oh my gosh, we dropped a lot of money on electrician because I don't know how a lot of that stuff works. I'm being honest with you. I don't know how it works. Okay, I can't rewire a circuit board from 1962. I could probably learn but that's not where I'm at. It's not worth the 15 hours for me to learn it. When I have a problem with my truck, I don't go try to change it all myself. I pay people $30 to change the oil for me because I know how to do it, but I just rotate my tires. It's not the best for me. And so, but I will happily pay a mechanic a reasonable price to change my oil and rotate my tires. You know why? Because it's just not worth it for me. And I just can't do it. Guess what? Cash buyer can't close sellers. They don't want to do the marketing. They can't do all that stuff.
They don't want to do it.
They're good at flipping houses, but not all that stuff. So they'll pay me to go bring them a deal. But guess what? If they can, so for example, if let's say it's electrical work, but it's changing out one wall unit, like just the cover, changing a cover on an electrical panel. I would say, and they say it's a $300 to change this electrical panel. You just take a screwdriver, just boop, boop, change it, right? I would be like, no, like that's not what, like I can do that, right? Like, why would I pay you to do that, right? It's just so funny, but like, would you like to pay us to go and get gas in your car for you? It's ridiculous, right? But people think that, guys, you have to do something. Your cash buyer has to make money. And a lot of you guys don't know that. It's a FOMO syndrome. Same thing with FSBOs. That's why you have to at minimum get 20 to 30% off the market price. So if a deal's locked up for 100, you have to at least sell to a cash buyer for 75 to 70 at the minimum. Okay, guys, it's crazy. And so let's talk about number 4. What's another reason why a guru wants to sell you being a real estate agent? Now, this has been a new phenomenon with they're like independent. I call them independent internet brokerages. And a lot of these real estate gurus will tell you to get a license and go under my brokerage so I can charge you a $2,000 setup fee, a $2,000 a year desk fee or whatever.
Yeah.
And like, it's like $4,000. Just be under my brokerage. And then some of those brokerages want to cut of the deal. Most of them don't. I'll give it to the gurus. They actually don't want to cut of your deal, which is actually great. But they want you under the brokerage. And then guess what? If you recruit other people in their brokerage, okay, and then you recruit someone else in your brokerage, it turns into what's that shape? It's like a pyramid.
Well,
It turns into a pyramid.
It's your classic MLM has found the real estate
pyramid
agency,
scheme,
and I can't believe the NAR lets this. But if you guys ever been part of an MLM, I'm not like, listen, I got a lot of friends that do MLM. God bless you. It is not my cup of tea, but
It's not.
now we've brought it in. So the money on these umbrellas of agencies is it's recruitment.
And you recruit someone, then you recruit someone,
and someone gets 500, and suddenly they get hundreds and hundreds of agents.
But what happens on MLMs though? Outside of they get burned at the end.
They all get regulated, and most of them fail and shut down. So I think the only one that
Herbalife, I think, is the only one that's like
Amway really is the only
Amway
because it was the first.
But I'm just telling you guys, like, why do real estate agents on YouTube try to tell you to be wholesalers and agent? Because they want you in their brokerage. I straight up, either to sell you a course or get you in their brokerage. That's it. Okay. I don't have any people on YouTube say you should get a real estate license. I got nothing to sell you.
Can you imagine getting your real estate license to go under a broker? It says they're investor friendly, and now they are going to teach you how to wholesale. It's like the most backwards way to do it. Guys, the value in wholesaling has always been our ability to market to off-market properties.
Yeah.
If you think you can skip that process and make a ton of money, you're not wholesaling.
But guess what though? When your broker daddy, who's now a guru, tells you you can't do what Zachkin tells you to do, he has a lot of legal right to do it because he's your broker daddy. All right. You can't do it, Zach. Digital bandit signs. I'm your broker daddy. No. And it's iffy if you can go against your broker daddy because it's your broker daddy, right?
Yeah.
You're not 18 yet. You can't get out of the house. You have to wear what he says. Are you a broker daddy can tell you, hey, I don't like the way you're dressing today. It's like, you don't want a broker daddy, okay?
And the broker daddy tells you what type of E&O insurance to get, which you have to get. That's errors and omissions. And every time you say something stupid or wrong, especially if because wholesaling is going to get you there, they're going to have to pay on their policy, and they're not going to be happy about it, and they're going to charge you more and more. It's just like an auto accident. If you have an accident, your rates go up, and then you get scolded by your boss, and it's painful. Wholesaling is going to put your broker at massive risk. So wholesalers have already taken advantage of this, and that's why they constantly churn which broker they go with, because the broker goes, I don't want the liability of what you're doing because they see it's risky. Listen, what we do, just because you don't understand it doesn't make it risky. You've got to understand that wholesaling is a whole different realm than what a real estate agent does.
Yeah, exactly. So here's the last one. All right. You can get your wholesaling deal stolen from your boss, aka the board. Yeah. Explain this. You've had some friends like this, right?
So I witnessed a case and I verified it where someone got a very large assignment fee as a licensed real estate agent. There was a complaint made. I believe it wasn't made by the seller or the buyer. It was made by an opposing real estate agent. They got called to the board. Not only did they have to give back the assignment fee, they had to pay a penalty, and they were only entitled to 3% compensation. It was over an $80,000 loss. And guys, think about that. Your assignment fees are now subject to board regulation.
Case law.
And if somebody doesn't like, remember, it's not a regular judge. It is a panel of real estate agents and brokers. And all they want is your money for your licensing. They don't want any of the liability. Honestly, it's a real conflict being a licensed real estate agent because they just want the money and the regulation. But the minute there's any mention of a lawsuit or an argument, they don't want anything to do with you. So like the protection you think you're getting, you're not. And I got to be honest with you, errors and omissions is completely untested with wholesaling and assignment fees. God only knows. You're going to have to get some case law on that. Guys, it's just, and don't get me into like novations and all this other. People are teaching how to sell your wholesale deals retail. There's an entire kit out there. I'm not going to get into it. We were never meant for that.
No.
We got to stop trying to jack the sales price up to be realtors when in essence we're wholesalers. What do wholesalers do? We market like crazy. We're really good at it. And we connect with people that need to sell their house quickly. And we make a smooth transaction that works out for everybody. Once you try to put the retail aspect in the wholesaling, you are trying to put a round square. You're trying to put a round peg in a square hole. You are going to have problems. What do I mean by problems? You're going to have lawsuits. You're going to have fights. You're going to go to places you're not welcome. You're going to have arguments. And this is the whole problem with realtors and wholesalers. Listen, I love realtors. When I need to buy a property retail for whatever I need, I use a realtor to talk to a realtor. A realtor talking to a wholesaler is painful. If you guys think you can make a realtor see a wholesaler's point of view, if you think it's frustrating calling FSBO leads, it's a whole new level with MLS.
And so
test it. I promise you.
And so let's talk about this too. So everyone always comments, and I always pop comments up sometimes. It's hilarious. But like people say, we need to get a professional union of wholesalers together. Guess what happens when you do that? I'm not saying anything bad. I'm not calling anyone out, but everyone's taught we need to unionize as wholesalers to protect ourselves, right? I want you guys to name one. There's only one union in the entire country, basically, that is big. That is a union of quote entrepreneurs. A union of, think about it. Have you ever heard of a union of entrepreneurs? There's only one. It's NAR, right? The National Association of Realtors, and we already don't like them. So we already know what happens when entrepreneurs unionize. There's a board, and they start telling you what to do.
Fees.
So if we as wholesalers have a union or a real estate license board of wholesalers, we turn it in NAR. And that's the problem. Let me tell you an opinion, and this is not a good opinion for some people, but it's true. I think unions, when it comes to like employees of places, that's good. Like a pilots union, I get it for conditions and stuff, but like a union of entrepreneurs, I'm telling you,
it goes against everything we believe.
Why don't entrepreneurs all unionize? So like, let's do why don't tech companies unionize? It's really
never going to happen
because every person in the union owns a corporation.
Yeah.
Unions work when other people don't own corporations, and a lot of real estate agents actually don't have a corporation at all. They get paid personally, which we're not even get straight up into that, right?
Well, look at Bell South. The whole phone company unionized. There's no more phone companies.
No, but here's the thing: the employees unionize, but every single employee has a corporation. That doesn't end up well. And then you have somebody and then when you do that, then you have one broker daddy, or I call him licensed daddy, that will tell you how to wholesale. And we already know the only people that want to do that are the people who want to make money off of you. And those are gurus. And gurus are broke. So you're going to have a broke wholesaler teach you wholesaling. That's the only way you get into wholesaling. It's like, and I know how it turns out. Buy my course if you want to get into wholesaling. Gurus say that, but they're actually actively trying to make it where if you have to pay them their license fee, which is a course, it's a course with extra steps. They want to make it's crazy. The wholesalers, the wholesaling gurus want to make it where you have to pay their course for you to even get a chance to wholesale houses. Why am I so adamant against NAR? NAR is the only entrepreneur union. And why is entrepreneurship so amazing? Can we cue the patriotic music? We got the American flag. Because in the United States of America, it doesn't matter what you look like, how educated you are, what you sound like, or any of that stuff. It only cares about if you are willing to help solve people's problems and create a business for that. That is the United States of stinking America. That is the country that I grew up on, and that's the country that made me rich, made you rich, and made so many people, immigrants, everyone rich. But when you have a board who will discriminate against you if you messed up once, if you do not have a GED, it's ridiculous. If you're not the right age, I was 17 wholesaling, and I'm making a bunch of money, 100K.
So you did something stupid and got a criminal background when you were young. It's just, guys.
So when I was 17, I didn't make 100K at 17 because I was like, 4 or 5 months in 17. But like, I'll tell you, if you want to be in a NAR, your age, you have to be at least 18. You have to have a GED. And if you're a felon, they can just kick you out whenever you want. And I'm just telling you guys straight up, like, I don't have anything bad to say if you have a felony. There's obviously felonies that are unexcusable, terrible. But like, you're 20 years old and you did something, you made a terrible mistake and you come back from it. And then they say you can't be an entrepreneur. Guys, guess who got arrested? Bill Gates got arrested. Should he not become an entrepreneur after that? Like, I'm just telling you guys, when you have to get regulated, and here's the one thing I hate discrimination. Discrimination is probably the most disgusting thing this country has. And what I'll tell you is when you're a NAR, they discriminate. And it's disgusting. And the gurus will probably discriminate even harder than that. And why does NAR discriminate? Because they can't have insurance if they don't discriminate, right?
Yeah.
And here's the problem. It's all coming back if we make a real estate license thing. If we go out here and make sure that we have a union, they will have to discriminate. And I don't believe in that. And that's why I'm against it. I'm against discrimination. You're pro discrimination if you want to make it. That's my opinion.
Guys, look, I mean, it's just nuts. I'm telling you, I think unions started out with the right. They always have the right initial cause, but the problem is the control takes over, and then you get paid board members, and then we got to do this, and we got to make them do that, and if they're under 18, no, and if they have a criminal record, and it's just like it becomes arbitrary, and it turns into this is what NAR's turned into, guys. And anybody wants to unionize our business, like you can't unionize entrepreneurs. We're all about cutting edge, freedom of information, like doing what we want. The last thing we're going to do is contain ourselves with rules. It's a waste of time. It's going to wind up being some sort of funnel for education, paid courses. And you think the money's going to listen. If somebody truly wanted to do something, here's what you do. You set up a fund, go get the baddest law firm. And then when someone gets sued, then you earmark that money to fight that case, to set case law. It's the only way it's going to work. I'm not even the brightest guy. I'm telling you. Do you think we're going to fund all this other crap to do that? If somebody gets attacked in the state and it goes down, then you should have a lawyer go, listen, we have the perfect case for you to stand up, and you go get a bad lawyer. It might cost $300,000 or $400,000 to fight the case, but that's how we win with case law. Boards, all this other crap. Guys, unions struggle. Look at the whole writing unions mess. They're about to be destroyed with AI. And so they're trying to hold on and salvage it. NAR is trying to beat the Department of Justice. It takes tons of money. How do you get tons of money? Fees.
Exactly.
Dues.
So guys, don't listen to guru hype. And if all the gurus decide to do a board and they control the wholesaling industry, guess who's the first person they're gonna kick out? Us.
Oh, we'll be banned instantly.
And they're like, well, very dangerous things they say. It's 1984 Orwellian. It's just a dystopia at that point, right? Like it's disgusting, but it's true. If all the gurus decided to control wholesaling and they had the ability to, they would kick me out of it. But the gurus can't control what I do because I'm not under their broker daddy system, and that's why I can do whatever I want. That's why I can say whatever I want.
That's what makes our business so creative. Is like everybody does things a different way, and I respect that. But how are you going to uniform and make wholesalers? Listen, if you just follow the law and you got a half decency of like good in you, and you have good ethics, I can't make you do it. I can't be your mother. I'll try to be like your uncle or your father. I can't be your mother. I can't tell you if you don't understand right and wrong. Wholesaling isn't going to fix that. No board's going to fix it. No union, and you have to understand that.
And so, I can debate this all day. I believe in freedom. I believe in entrepreneurship, and I don't believe in discrimination. That's where I'm at on that. So, last part is, when should you get a real estate license? Honestly, if you're making a good amount of money as a realtor and you want to get into wholesaling, don't get rid of the license automatically. If it's making you money, the pros will outweigh the cons. Now, I'll tell you this. If you are in Illinois, at that point, I would say getting a license is probably worth it. That's the only state that has a law. There was another place in Maryland, actually. It was kind of crazy that they made a law just like Illinois. And guess what? They couldn't get the votes. Sponsor withdrew it. Shocker. But Illinois is the only place that was that crazy. And so, yeah, I would say if you're in Illinois, I'd probably get a license. That's probably worth it. And if you are making at least $40K a year wholesaling MLS so you're not an agent, but you're making $40K a year on the MLS, I would say it's probably worth it because agents don't really respect you giving offers if you're not a fellow agent, part of the clan. I guess I don't know. You got to be part of the group for it to make sense. But I would say it's probably worth it, and that's the only way I say.
And guys, if you want to get your real estate license because you go, well, I can save some fees on the deals I buy on MLS. You really got to consider if you're wholesaling or not, because it's not worth it. And by the time you pay the fees and you have the liability, is it really worth it? I mean, you really have to think about this. Most people I find get their license because somebody told me I had to get a license. Now, here's my only exception. If you started out as a realtor and you did it and you found wholesaling, it might be worth just to keep it if you're making money on both. That's probably my only exception if you're a converted realtor. But 9 times out of 10, if you're a wholesaler and you get your real estate license because you think it's going to solve a problem, you're going to be converted from a wholesaler to a realtor. I promise you, you can't split your focus and do that. That's why you should have divisions in your company as you grow, and you can get real estate agents to work with you, get referral fees. You can own an agency and not be a licensed real estate agent or broker. It's just a company.
Did we also explain how you have to pay for individual MLSs?
My God.
Okay, let's not even get into that.
If there was one general MLS, but like I'm part of 5. Yeah, if I showed you the bill I have to pay, it's ridiculous. And it just keeps going up and up and up and up. And the thing is, when you get your license, you can't just make it go away. I don't know the procedures, but if you got a license and you do that, just let it expire if that's your choice. My only exception is if you started out as a realtor and then you go, hey, I found wholesaling. God bless you. But the thing is, they're trying to do it the other way. Like, come on over, join our side. It's like, once you get a real estate license, I'm going to tell you, man, if you've ever been around a group of realtors, now there are special realtors, don't get me wrong, that like do an incredible business, but most realtors are completely broke. They do very little business, and they're going to tell you how you need to run your real estate business and your wholesaling business. And you got to just like pinch your ears shut.
But so if you look at an hour per hour basis, putting your time into wholesaling versus being a realtor, on average, you will make probably, I'm not going to say double, but probably 50, 70% more wholesaling than you are as an agent, and you have less money up front. So that's it, guys. I just don't like discrimination. Go after me. I don't care, but that's the truth. So what we're going to do here is answer some questions you guys have. We got plenty of one-on-ones to do, and I love talking to the people. So we're excited and we're ready to go. So appreciate it, Ashley. This is great information. Thank you so much. Awesome. Love to see it. Freedom. I love it. Oh my gosh. I love it, guys. Appreciate it. Someone says, do you have any tips in Knoxville? Knoxville's an interesting market, man. I would say low crime, low prices. That's the way to do it. Like wholesaling deals for like, I'm not going to say under 100K, but like a little above that range. So like, I would say you buy it for 100, like you put it under contract for 100 and you sell it for like 125. Those are really cool. Cause like, a lot of low ARV deals, you really actually can't go out here and make a ton of money, but you can make 25 grand off of 100K contract price. And that's very impressive. My biggest ratio deal ever was I made 70K on a deal I put under contract for, I think 75. That was almost 100% contract to assignment ratio. It's a really hard ratio to do, but like, sounds like a pyramid scheme. Yeah. Let's do the math here. Right. It's just, oh my gosh. I'm telling you guys, do not get a broker daddy. It'd be the worst thing you do. All right. So, let's see. All right, let's go here. LOL true. I'm telling you, it's really insane. So what we're going to do here is do some one-on-ones. I want to talk to you guys out here and see what it is. So if you guys want to go talk to me one-on-one, you got to be part of the Facebook group, obviously. Duh. So you want to be part of the Facebook group? I put the link in the comments for you guys. It is called Wholesaling Houses for Real. It's our Facebook group where we teach you wholesaling. You have a community in there and just talk, and that's pretty cool. So here it is right here. It's facebook.com/groups/wholesaling houses for real. So let's show you how to do it. How do you hop on the one-on-ones? We always show you. Go to Wholesaling Houses for Real right here. You click Zach Ginn right here, and let's pop it up. All right, boom. You click the StreamYard link, and boom, you are ready to go. So we're excited. Also, guys, quick, we've already said this, but just so everybody knew, or if you haven't heard on it, Flip with Rick Plus, letting everybody know we're having our live event October 19th and the 20th. So if you want to be part of that, you have to be in Flip with Rick Plus. Once you sign up, you have a ticket for the event. So that's pretty cool. It'll be 2 days, you and me. We're really excited for it. And, or just send me a JV deal and I'll give you the access for free access too. But we're excited about that. So if you want to go to the live event, see us, hug us, say hello. Flip with Rick Plus is your one-stop shop for it. So without further ado, let's do some one-on-ones and talk. So first off, hello, Diana.
Hi, can you guys hear me?
Diana, I'm going to kick you out and then you can come back in. That's usually, there's a little audio issue, okay?
Okay, let me try again.
All right. Just got to try. The audio was terrible. People with headphones would start screaming. All right, let's talk to Yeshua. What's up? Hello.
Gotta unmute yourself. Move on to the next.
Maybe Juan wants to talk.
I don't know. Maybe Juan's there. Juan, you there?
Are we having an audio issue?
Juan. I've talked to Juan before.
Hello. He'll talk to me later. Is Danny?
Donnie.
Donnie?
What's going on, guys? Can you hear
There
me?
we go.
Yeah, can you hear us?
It's working.
I can hear you. Can you guys see me?
No, but that's okay.
Okay.
I
I got two questions for you guys. The first question is, I got a property that I'm working with the guy, and he's going to get back with me on what the mortgage is. And I think it'd be a good sub 2 deal. We spoke about creative finance solutions, and he's open to it. He just kind of wants to get rid of it. He's not looking for any down payment. I'm wondering on how do I structure the deal and kind of take that over to a title company and get everything, in writing. I'm not really too sure. I've watched your creative finance videos, and I'm just not sure on how to properly structure the deal in writing.
So share me some numbers.
So he says that he owes about anywhere between 93 to 96 owed on the property.
Okay.
It needs minor cosmetic repairs, maybe like countertops, floors, so maybe 10 to 12,000.
Mm-hmm.
And the ARV in the area for that property is roughly like 115 to 120. And the rents over there go for about 450 to 500 per room. It's a great location for college rentals. There's a university over there, and that's mainly what the area is for rentals.
Okay. And what's his monthly payment, and what's it include?
So that's what he's going to get back with me about. He's in the Army, so he works crazy hours. So he's going to get that information and get back with me. I'm wondering on when I figure out what the payments are and everything, how do I structure that in writing and bring that to a company?
Which state are you in?
Ohio.
Okay. So you got to get like some more details. Have you physically put your eyes on the property?
I have, yes.
And okay, and sure. So when you say so what's going on with the house right now? Is it vacant? Does it have tenants? What's going on?
So it's currently vacant. This guy's owned it for years. He bought it back in 2000 and I think 6 or 7. Took out a mortgage on it, and then he refinanced it to get money to fix it up. He entered the Army in 2009, and he just hasn't been local to the area to do anything. So it's been sitting since 2009.
Okay. And how'd you find this deal?
So I found this deal driving for dollars, and I just backtraced the information and called the guy. And I called him and asked if he's looking to part with it, and he's like, "I would love to get rid of this."
See, driving for dollars does work. So let me ask Donnie, what's your strategy for this, or like what's your desire? And is this your first deal? And is it your first creative finance deal?
So this would be my first creative finance deal. I'm a little nervous on going into the whole deal. I just want to make sure this is done, right. I've done 2 deals so far. The first deal I did was back in December. It was for in Findlay, Ohio, and that was for an assignment for $6,100. And then I recently just did one in my town for $2,000. That was about a month and a half ago.
Okay. So do you want to stay in this deal, or you want to get it sold?
So that's a great question. I'd prefer to just get it sold, but I'm open to other options. Like I said, I'm just a little nervous on diving into this because this would be my first creative finance deal.
Okay. Let me ask you, how long ago did he refinance this property? Like years wise, or?
I want to say, I think it was a couple years after he initially bought the property. So maybe 4 or 5 years after he bought the property.
Got it. So, it's pretty straightforward. I'm going to tell you that here's the honest truth on creative financing, particularly subject to 98% of the title companies will not insure it because they want the mortgage paid off.
Yeah.
So the question is, have you talked to him about what he wants to make this deal go through? Does he just want it off his hands? Is he looking for cash, or like what's he looking for?
So he just wants to get rid of it. So I asked him, what he's looking for. He's like, honestly, he's like, I just want to give it away. He's like, I don't want the headache. I don't want the payments anymore. He's like, I'm 20 something hours away. He's like, I'm in the Army. He's like, I just don't have time to deal with the property at all.
So here's the simple process. The first part is just enter into a purchase and sales agreement. There's a section on there where you can use our contract, you can use a regular real estate contract. There's usually a line on there, you can take over existing financing, but you don't have to complicate a purchase and sales agreement. If you agree, just say, okay, let's call it 95 because that's the estimated amount.
Mm-hmm.
And then you get what is owed on the loan, and you just kind of figure it out, because you can do a regular PSA agreement and then have an addendum tied to it. People go like, where's the creative finance contract? There's no such thing as a creative financing contract. You just have to, the only thing additional you're doing is taking over his loan subject to. But I want you to understand this. You got to understand exactly what you want to accomplish with it. So you've clearly said, hey, listen, I just want to kind of make my money and get out of it. That's perfect. Because if you stay in it, you got to do the rehab. And I don't know about you, but managing properties near a college town is a lot of work. It's a lot of stress.
On the tenant, but yeah.
And so you got to get the number. So I would just simply start out with a purchase and sales agreement, make it to like 92, 93,000. Listen, if it's more, then you have to take it over for that amount. So the amount you put on is irrelevant. I always try to give the seller something, because why? Because you need them to cooperate, because there's all sorts of little details that have to be done after the fact. You got to keep that bank happy and keep the regular payments on time and in schedule. He's not behind on payments, is he?
No. He's not behind on payments.
Yeah. And then you just make the payments. Now you can turn around and sell that deal, let somebody else fix it up, and you can have them either cash it out or take over the financing, which is basically your hard money loan. And you can give them, say, listen, you can take it over. It's 12%. You're probably going to have about a 5% rate. Not only can you make the money up front, you can make the spread, but just start with the contract and get all the information. And if you want to reach out to us, I'll help you. People overcomplicate creative financing. You got to make sure, number one, it's actually going to make money. Just because you do a creative financing deal does not make you special. It could make you stupid sometimes. So figure it out. A lot of people like to keep it for themselves. So what you would do is sell that position, and you should be able to get a premium. So would you say the ARV on it is roughly, if it's in good shape?
So the ARV is roughly anywhere between like 110 and I'd say 120. But the rental, go ahead.
I would sell it at 129 or maybe 134.9 with seller financing. Like it's all built in there. Now the back end's a little more, it's just mechanical. You're not used to it, but whoever takes that over they got to come up with a good downstroke. And then they got to make that payment. If they don't make that payment, you got to have the ability to be able to take that house back. So the idea is, if you give the guy $500 or $1,000, once you have a buyer in place, I always try to leave them something, because if I got to call them, I need to know they're cooperative. And sometimes it takes a year or two to straighten out some of the paperwork at the bank. And then say if you sold it for 130 and you took it over for 95, dude, you've got a really nice, healthy spread there. And you can decide, here's how I decide. You ready? How much money can you give me up front? Period. That's how I sell the deals. And I got to make sure they're reputable and they're going to make payments. And then you can even set up a third party through your title company to make sure the money's escrowed and the title is always paid in advance. Not the title, I mean the mortgage. So here's how you do it. If you're selling it for 130 and you have it on a contract 95, and just say there's $3,000 or $4,000 of expenses in there, let's call it 100. You have a $30,000 profit. If someone's going to offer you 20, 25 up front at that price, take it. Take it. Like, I don't even sit, or you can jack the price up even higher. But now you might have a rehabber goes, listen, I can rehab that house and have it done in 3 months. Maybe it takes them 6 months total. And then you could be like the hard money loan person in place, because you're doing them a huge favor. The financing creates a lot of advantages for you. So start with the basics, get a purchase and sales agreement, and then get the specifics and go, listen, can you get me these numbers within 7 days? If you wait too long, somebody else is going to move. Have you signed a contract?
No, I have not.
So I'm just telling you, you're at risk. You need to go get that contract. Most people in these creative finance, they try to get every question answered before they enter into it. Just enter into an agreement, do a 30-day out, and do your due diligence. And now you can move forward. But you're not going to go to a title company and you're not going to be able to get title insurance. Now, you can ask them, can you write title insurance omitting the current mortgage? A lot of title companies are very uncomfortable doing that. And you'll hear a lot of gurus talk, I have a title company that it's their own title company. That's why they do it. Do you get that?
Mhm. Yeah.
So, but like really, what's your risk, Donnie? If you're not really putting any money out, like there's no repercussions to you long as you're following the law and you're doing everything. Also, once you have it under contract, usually sellers have a packet with all their HUD, and when they bought it, they refinanced it. You want to get that mortgage, and as painful as it sounds, you just got to read through it to make sure there's no crazy clauses in there, because what you are is taking over that agreement. So read it. You don't need to just read it. And then if you have any questions, talk to the title company if you have to talk to a lawyer. But I think you have a great deal. Guys, driving for dollars, this happens all the time. Here's the one thing, Donnie, you got to go solve that contract as soon as possible, because you might be selling up another investor behind you. They go, dude, this guy just said he'd give me $2,000 if I signed a deal today. So, and listen, if you're going to get, so I always offer them at least like $1,000. And then I said, listen, once we close and after 90 days, you can delay the payment, because if someone gives you 20 grand, you can take $1,000 out of that 20 and give it to him. So it's not really your money. It's your buyer's money. You have a lot of options. Someone might want to rehab it depending on it. Somebody might want to rent it, use it as a rental, but you have a lot of options. You got to get that contract low, because this is where a lot of newbies get stuck. I get it. You're not completely comfortable with creative financing. I get it. But talk to your title companies about options with your deal too. But technically now I would always have the title company do a title search on it, though, just to make sure he didn't do any other crazy liens or like there's any pending litigation or anything with it. They should do that for you for free. So start out that in a purchase and sales agreement, and then just move forward. You have 30 days to figure this out. Don't wait the 30 days, then do the contract. You're going to miss out.
Okay. And then I have one more question. So the guy that's in the same city as this gentleman, he has a commercial property, 4 floors. 2 of the floors, the second and third floor, were being used as rentals. They each had 4 units, so 1 bedroom, 1 bath. It recently had a fire 2 years ago, and he just wants to get rid of it. He's been in the game for years, like investing. You know, he's in his 50s, early 60s, and I just don't know how to go about this. I got a guy locally in the area that's, a bigger investor, and I'm just not sure on how to go about this. He hasn't shot me a price. He wants me to do a walkthrough, which I plan on doing. But I don't know how to go about anything with this, with it being a commercial building. Did I what?
Did you condition him at all?
Yeah. He's looking to sell. He wants to sell in the next
make
30.
a yes or no decision when you go there?
Yeah, he's looking to, as long, he wants to speak to his wife about it. And
well, but you see that all decision makers aren't there, man. Have the wife go there.
Yeah.
Bro, you're going to give an offer and they're just going to option you. You never want to be somebody's option.
Okay.
Let me say it one more time. You do not want to be somebody's option. All right.
And you could do little things about, like, if the fire was that long ago, there should be a very clear estimate of what the damages are financially through like insurance companies. And you can run like a basic comp. You can run some cash flow numbers, come up with a cap rate, and look at comps. And listen, just use the technique we teach you. It's the go for no, and also find out if he has a mortgage on it, just to see how much he has leveraged against it, and that'll give you indications. Listen, you want to buy deals that make you money. You're doing the right things. How did you find that deal?
So I found this deal. So he was actually a local investor, and a guy had contacted me. I had asked him if, he has any properties he's looking to part with. And he's like, yeah, I got a commercial building. He's like, I'm getting up in age. And he's like, since the fire, he's like, we removed a lot of the debris, that the damage, it was gone. And he's like, if you have someone that's looking, if you and your partners are looking to maybe buy it, he's like, I'd love to give you a walkthrough and kind of see if it's something we could maybe come to an agreement with on price.
Yeah. I mean, I'm still going to use the go for no method with it. You got to get a guesstimate at what it's worth. So get some more information. Do you have like insurance reports, estimates of damage? Usually the fire department will give one, the insurance company will give one, and then he'll have one. And then you figure out a comp and you figure out like kind of a number, and just it's got to be a discount. And obviously you're taking on kind of a big problem. So it's going to have to be a deeper discount. And if he's had it vacant for like 2 years, I wonder why he's waited so long if he hasn't sold it or done anything with it. So just listen, you're getting the right leads. Donnie is finding people that need to sell a house so he has opportunities. And remember, on that type of property, I'll typically ask for a 90-day inspection. Because once you put a contract, you've basically optioned that property, and then you can rip the roof off and figure out like if it's going to work, and you can work with your buyers and stuff like that. So at some point, you're going to have to shoot a number over his bow, or he's going to have to give you a number, because I don't want you wasting time. How do you waste time when you start doing inspections stuff? Commercial properties, it's very expensive. You got to know if there's any money in this deal. So either ask him to give you a number, and just use the volley method I teach you all the time, because I don't know, take a look and walk around. I go, listen, hey, Mr. Seller, obviously you've had this property for a while. You're aware of the fire. You've worked with the insurance company, the fire department, everything. Can you share those numbers with me? And we can just kind of figure out what the value in this property is and have him work it out. And then if he keeps doing it, just lowball him. Just shoot him a number so low that it makes him give his number. And that's how the go for no process goes. But
for no, man.
You are in the right area, dude. You keep finding people that need to sell. Those are the ones you work with. When you try to fight with people on MLS that just want to sell for the highest retail, there's no way you're going to make it work. You can't make people sell you your house.
You're doing good.
Write the contract slow.
Yep.
Okay. Thank you guys, man. I appreciate it.
Okay, man.
All right. So Steven's got a great question here. He says, never get a real estate license? So shout thanks for the $10 and the 20. I just saw this live post. How do you address states such as Maryland that have a new legislation where individuals can't engage in wholesaling without a license?
What are we going to do?
Oh my God.
That's it, guys. Wholesaling shut down. You can't do it anymore.
Let's see. Wait, does Zach have the bill? Okay, let's read the bill. Oh my God. Okay. What's highlighted? Withdrawn by sponsor. What does withdrawn by sponsor mean? What does that mean? That it was a stupid law and it would never pass because it's dumb? Let's read this. This is a bill withdrawn. This bill basically, let's get the definition, means the sponsor of the bill for reasons decided to discontinue the process of the bill's passage. The House will stop the further consideration of the bill. What does that mean?
So, Steven, I just saved you a license. I just saved you $4,000, dude.
It didn't pass. It's stupid.
Yeah. You guys just need to read it. So whatever you're stating, you should be an expert on this stuff. Most of the posts you guys see is that they're going to ban wholesaling. Number one, first of all, wholesaling is protected by really your constitutional right. So we all see this argument in a little green business. We all know what I'm talking about. It's illegally federally, but states are passing it everywhere. We have the opposite thing happen. Wholesaling is 100% protected in your rights under contracts.
The contract clause in the Constitution.
So states are writing over them. And I said my idea was...
No one's ever fought. Yeah. So the contract clause in the Constitution states that people have a right to create and go into contract. You can't affect somebody's right to create contracts, because that's how the law is written. That's it. We basically go from I forgot. There's a lot of terms for it, but like we basically common law from England is how we did it, and then contracts are basically how all law is done. You know,
if these cases ever made a Supreme Court, which they never will, because they're not considered urgent.
But the current Supreme Court, FYI, is very, very strict on what the Constitution says.
Exactly. But the problem is it's all about money with lawyers. So like when governments can bury you with endless amounts of lawyers, we just give up. The only type of organization would ever work, and any gurus watching, just hear me out, okay? Set up a fund that is regulated as a fee-free fund. Every penny goes to that fund, and you designated 3 or 4 law firms across the country ready to attack and defend when someone does, and make a prime example. And these states would stop. Yes, it would probably cost $500,000 to defend these cases. But once you win, now you have case law. And now you are empowered. And every one of you go, hey, porting this case law. You guys over here when people do case law, according to Maryland versus Stan, you can't. And once you have case law, then you have power. But no, it's scary. It's like the first ones get up and fight. It's like when our country decided, hey, we can't handle these taxes anymore. We're going to break free. What did they tell all those people? We're going to cut your, we're going to, you will not exist on this earth anymore. And they had to live with that consequence. And it's the reason most of you are standing here today. So like, it's hard. I don't want to fund $500,000 either for that, but that's what it's truly going to take. A board and all that stuff would just, all the money would go to the wrong places. If we can get case law to take this on federally, you guys are 100% protected in your constitutional rights to not impede on your contracts. These state things, it's happening all over the country. It's not right. And I'm just telling you, most people don't have hundreds of thousands of dollars to hire a lawyer to defend them.
Exactly. So Seth asks, just do you have a live schedule? So let me give everyone our exact live schedule. On Monday, on the Rick Ginn YouTube channel, he goes live at 5 p.m. Oh, yeah. And then on Tuesday, I go live or you go live on the flip. And all the YouTube channels go live at on Monday, it's 5 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Eastern on Tuesdays.
Tuesday, yeah.
Wednesday, we just do a recorded video. Thursdays, which is today, we go live at 1 o'clock Eastern.
Right here.
All the channels. And then on Sunday, I go live on my Zachin YouTube channel at 10 p.m. Eastern. Whoa.
I'm in bed.
That's pretty much it. So that's our little schedule. So let's answer. Diana, is that better?
Yeah. Can you guys hear me better?
Yeah, that's way better.
That's good.
Sorry, I live kind of in the country, so.
All right, no big deal.
Better service. So I have a question. I know I was on the live with you guys a couple weeks ago, about my contract, and I'm having a hard time finding a cash buyer. I just need to know if if it's just too high, if I'm like listing it for too high, or kind of what I'm doing wrong. So the contract that I have, it's the one where the liens are higher than the purchase price. And
I remember that one.
Before we cancel pretty much just move on, I just need to know, I just need to make sure that I did all of my part, because I did really want to help the guy out.
The liens are bigger than the price. That's the problem. It's gonna get eaten up.
What type of liens were they again?
Oh my, I got the payoff from the city. It was like everything from code violation to like tax delinquencies, just like everything. He had
the seller's best interest to get rid of the house, because if he sells it, he owe probably 20 or 30 versus him just letting the house go. Unfortunately, that's what
Does the seller get any money out of your deal the way it's set up?
Well, that's what I was trying to do. So he gave it for 10K, and then the liens are like 45,000.
Yeah, but no, you have to negotiate the liens down, but it just doesn't.
Yeah.
I hate to tell you, some deals the city just has to take over, and the city's going to take the loss on that one, unfortunately. But I would love to give you a solution. There's not, because it needs too many repairs and all these things. So,
and the only way to work with the city on those liens is you have to work with the homeowner. And tell me honestly, is he highly cooperative or is he difficult?
Oh, he's difficult.
Yeah. So
the situation from being a very nice person with what he's doing. So
Diana, you've done everything you can. Like, the reality is, me and Zach both.
You're not sure.
We have people to this day. We do everything we can to help them out. We just can't. There's some problems you just can't solve. You are never going to bat 100% in wholesaling. If you are, you're not wholesaling. It's just, you tried, you were in the right spot, you went for it, it didn't work out. But honestly, I don't see a path to make this work out without legal intervention. And honestly, he created these bills and this mess. So what he has to do is he has to go down to the city and see if he can work a deal out, because you're just going to get in the way. So I've done this for sellers. I've been the intermediary, but I had 110% cooperation. So you can go to a magistrate hearing, but it requires the seller to go there, and you got to coach him what to say. He's not going to be coachable because he's in way over his head.
I agree.
And the city's not going to care anymore. They're like, dude, you had years to fix this and you ignored it. You got to pay the consequence. So you tried. I just go find other people. Sometimes when we look for problems, the problems are too big to solve. and we try to help him out. So he needs to see legal counsel, or if he can't afford that, he needs to go meet with the city directly, and that's the direction you give him. You still want to help him out, you give him that advice. That's all you can do.
Yeah, that's what I tried. I wish I could do my local market, but it's okay. I'm learning a
Yeah.
lot doing virtual.
But you're in the right place. Like there's
Yeah.
smoke. It's just the fire's too big. You can't put it out.
Yeah,
it.
that's what I was thinking. I just had to make sure I'm not missing
No,
something.
no,
or
don't
not-
kill yourself. You've listen, guys, we look for problems. Sometimes the problems are just, they're bigger than the property, and you do everything you can. You've exhausted everything. That's it.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. It's okay. I have 2 other
Okay.
potential right now that I'm working
That's it.
with.
And you just kill people with kindness. You still want to help them out. So, but here's what you need to do. You dug yourself in a hole. Here's how you're going to have to try to dig yourself out. And you're going to have to like do everything you can. He can't go in the city and like demand stuff. He created it. He has got to fix it.
Yeah, and I really wanted to help him out. I really did. No matter how much he cussed me out, I just
I
felt
know.
bad for him. But I know I'll just move
I know.
on. I'm continuing to pull leads and everything. So
You got it. So it is what it is. And let him know if anything changes to give you contact you back if he can resolve those liens.
yeah. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
Awesome.
Thanks, guys.
See you.
Of course. Boom. Guys, don't get a real estate license. That's the one sentence you get to hear before I hop off, guys. Don't get a real estate license and go out here, go to freewholesaling.com, or free wholesaling course. We'll teach you how to wholesale step by step for free. So next live we got is on Sunday. Check out the videos we got posted here, and appreciate it. This is Zach signing out.
Rick in signing out.
Have a blessed one.
See you guys.